Baseball. Regarding Tyler, is that just a continuation of what you guys have seen over the past week with him, and even in the off season, in his workouts?
Yeah, he's had a great off season and a summer of work, and it started pretty quickly right after the Milwaukee series. Got in, started putting time in the weight room, and spent a great deal of time just honing his skills.
Kyle's debut with the Heat. We always talk about pace, and you want to play faster in the preseason, and sometimes things change. But he seems to have a way of dictating pace, whether that maybe is the goal or not. What do you
Yeah,
think of the way he orchestrated?
I loved it. Synapses. You better have your synapses ready. The change of possession, it's going fast, and that hasn't really mattered over the years, the last few years, how intently this head coach has tried to force pace. He's done it in a much better way than I ever have, just in the last few days.
Thank you, Coach. A lot of guys that came from Summer League made their NBA debuts today. What are your thoughts on their performance?
I love it. I love seeing those guys, put in the time, and they've been grinding behind the scenes. They'll get some more opportunities to play this preseason. The guys that didn't get in, I'm going to work to try to get them in at some point. But it's all those hours, when nobody's around, nobody's watching. But I love the development, of young players and seeing the improvement.
Taking it.
Where is that coming from?
I think it stops.
Somebody has to push mute.
There we go. Nice. So taking you.
I used to be a video coordinator.
Well,
I can see it's not on mute.
all right. Well, let me get this back on. So taking you way back to those days, or slightly after them, watching Lowry reminds me a little bit of watching Tim when he was here. In the sense that he didn't have to run hard to push pace. That there would be hit-ahead passes. There would be ways that he could preserve. Do you see any working with him at all? Since you did,
It's his brain speed, and that's what you always dreaded. On the other side, you couldn't relax for 1 second or one possession. He's always scanning, looking ahead, looking for any weaknesses. In the defense, particularly early in the clock, and if he doesn't feel like it's there, then he just, he has a great feel for it when to, get organized and get the ball where it needs to go. That's something that's innate, and then obviously, he's deeply experienced, in this league, running teams and having to, get the ball to specific people and run very good offenses over the course of his career. But pace has been, one of the constants.
The thought with Jimmy holding him out, was that a fatigue thing or just
No.
safety?
And I'll give you guys a tip. I won't be playing everybody every single game.
But you'd want to get continuity at some point, I'd assume, of the starting five eventually.
Yeah.
Right? Eventually?
And we already have been.
So you talked about Kyle Lowry's brain speed. I like that word because you spoke about it regarding the offensive end. But on the defensive end, we saw it tonight, having to guard Trae Young, that point of attack defense, just being able to navigate screens, despite the speed advantage. Then you saw it off the floor with Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin. How do you feel about just the general defensive energy we saw on the perimeter there?
Yeah, we have defensive-minded guys, competitive guys that understand the importance of that side of the floor. The details, the habits, the trust, we have, still time to develop that. That'll take a good deal of time during the regular season to build that system.
Obviously, Tyler had the game high in scoring, but he had almost 2 chase down blocks tonight. Is that like that 10 pounds of muscle, the faster, the quickness? Is that just third year in the league kind of stuff?
Now, Tyler's always had really good instincts for the ball on both ends of the court. He has a sturdier frame that'll help him with contact. his confidence is extremely high right now, and that's born out of sweat, equity behind the scenes. He's really put in the time, and he's done it quietly and consistently, and you really like to see players rewarded by playing well from that work.
It seemed like Bam was one of the beneficiaries of Kyle's pace. What have you noticed about kind of their connection, even in just 1 week in? What have you noticed about their connection in practices and even tonight?
Yeah, I think Kyle has really been intentional about trying to get Bam some easy looks and easy catches around the rim. Didn't take Bam very long to figure it out in this training camp. If you run, you'll get the ball, you get easy opportunities. And Bam has a great feel and understanding for the game as well. So usually, high IQ players will figure it out in a short period of time, just like Kyle and Jimmy as well.
Any concerns with PJ from a health perspective? Did he?
No, he says he's fine, but I always wait till the next day to see how guys feel. Okay, thank you.
Hold on, Coach. We'll take one more from Tim Reynolds
Tim,
via Zoom.
hey.
My hand was raised before you bolted. If this were the regular season, I would have taken it down real fast. Spo, did tonight feel normal in that there was commotion, behind the bench and around the bench? And I know the building wasn't filled.
Yeah.
There were a few thousand, people in there, and there were people around you and around at halftime. And did it feel as close as we felt to normal in 20 months?
Yeah, it did. Even right next to our bench, there was front row seats that were filled, and we haven't had that for a year and a half. And right behind the bench, all that felt the way it used to feel with people looking in on your huddle. It's all good. I love the direction where it's going.
Is it in any way, off-putting or?
No, I think everybody loves that kind of environment.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Eric,